y'all. My name is Jennifer with True to You Yoga, and today's flow is going to be more based on myofascial release. If you have some props, you could use blocks, a foam roller. Blankets and cushions are always good for your knees if you would need them, or to take up some space in between you and the floor. If you don't have those items, that's perfectly okay. I will show you some ways to do it even without those items or with them. So let's start by coming to child's pose. Knees are about as wide as your mat. Your big toes are together. Bottom is sinking back towards your heels, chest towards the floor. If you need a blanket or a cushion underneath of your booty down to your heels, that's fine. Release your head to your mat. Start with our arms bent, so our elbows are at the edge of our mat. Our fingertips are touching over the top, more towards the top of our head. Big inhale through your nose. Exhale out your mouth and sigh out any tension from the day. Another big inhale through your nose. Sigh it out your mouth. One more like that. Gently seal your lips. Bring your inhales and exhales through your nose. Sink into your mat, feeling your body relax and just melt. With every inhale, feel your belly expand in your low back, up into your lungs and your collarbones. With every exhale, feel it all release, leaving all the tension from your body. Relax your mind. Begin to walk your fingertips towards the top of your mat, so your arms are long. Think about really pulling your arms towards the top of your mat like I'm pulling on your hands, but your shoulder blades are still down your spine. See if you feel any interesting stretches here. You can kind of rock your upper body side to side. So you're leaning a little bit more towards your right armpit, and then your left, opening up those spaces underneath of your arm that we don't always get to. Come back to center. Take your right hand and we're going to thread it underneath of our left arm. The right side of your forehead comes down to your mat if it can. If not, it just rests wherever is comfortable. Your right arm is really reaching out towards the left side. Really pull on it like I'm pulling that right hand. Feel that release behind your shoulder blade. And your left hand is still towards the top of the mat. You're walking your fingers that way. So it's like you have me pulling your hand up like towards the north if you were a compass on the map. And your right hand is really pulling towards the west. Feel all that behind your back. One more breath here. Bring your right hand back towards the top of your mat. Take your left hand and thread it underneath of that right arm. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. So really walk that left hand out like I'm pulling it towards the east. Your right hand is still reaching up, pulling towards the north. Left side of your head is down towards your mat. Feel the release, possibly behind your shoulder blades, in the left shoulder and lat area, into your shoulder cap. Your right arm, you may feel it down into your right lats. One more breath here. Unthread yourself and then come up to tabletop. Belly is drawn up towards your spine. Wrists are underneath of your shoulders. Your fingers are spread wide, gripping the mat. Your knees are underneath of your hips. We're going to do a take on cat-cow. So we're going to start at our tailbone, and we're going to pop our tailbone up towards the sky, and then we're going to do one vertebrae at a time, as much as you can, coming into your cow pose. So one vertebrae at a time, begin to arch through your back. Your head will be the last to lift up. And then on your exhale, we're going to push away from the floor, tip our tailbone down towards your mat first, and then one vertebrae at a time, begin to round through your back, pushing away from your mat, the top of your head being the last thing to round. Do that one more time, starting at your tailbone, flipping that tailbone up towards the sky. Begin to arch through your back, one vertebrae at a time. Really taking it nice and slow. Head's the last to arch up. And then exhale, we're going to push away from the floor, starting with our tailbone, rounding your tailbone through your low back, your mid, your upper, and finally your head. You're in your cat position. We're going to reverse that. So we're going to bring our head forward first, and then we're going to drop through our chest, our upper back, and then into our low back, and finally our tailbone to find our cow position. If you're getting a little confused, that's fine. Just take your time trying to separate those vertebrae one at a time. Begin with your head. Drop your head towards the floor, and then begin to round up through your upper back, pushing away from the floor, letting it go into your mid back, pulling your belly button up towards your spine, and then tucking your tailbone in. Nice big cat pose. One more time, we're going to go towards cow and into table. So your head's going to go first, giving that little bit of an arch, gazing forward, then into your upper back, mid back, low back, tailbone flip, your cow, and then just come back to table. You can either stay here in table if that's what's comfortable for you. If you need to, get some pads or whatever for your knees, that's fine. You could also tuck your toes, push your bottom up towards the sky, lengthening out your back, really pushing into the floor for your down dog, gripping your mat, keeping your shoulder blades down your spine, but rotating your arms so that if you would bend your elbows, they're going to bend back towards to the back of your mat. Your head is angling towards in between your arms. Your belly button is drawn up. Spine is long. Tailbone's flipped up towards the ceiling. If you need to bend your knees to keep a long spine, feel free. Otherwise, you can straighten them out. You can walk your feet some, pedaling them out. If this is too much on your hands, but you want a little bit something else besides your cat-cow, you can bring it to dolphin. And dolphin is when your forearms are on the floor, so your arms are in that parallel L position. Your fingers are still going to grip the mat. Tuck your toes and lift your bottom up towards the sky. So you're basically doing a down dog, yet you're just on your forearms. Same thing, we're going to push through our shoulder muscles, but leave our shoulder blades down our back. Feel the stretch throughout your upper body as you're really wrapping those shoulders around. Belly button is pulled in, back is long. You can walk those feet out a little bit more. One more breath here. Knees down to your mat. Come back through table and swing your legs around to seated. This is where, if you have some props, they're great. We're gonna roll out our hamstring and our calf. So if you have a foam roller, can start with the foam roller first. Bring it up towards your glutes. You can put your weight back into your hands. You can put your hands on some blocks or even on like a low table, and lift your bottom up. Let it sink in, and then just roll back and forth on those hamstrings. If you don't have a foam roller and you only have blocks, that's fine. Bring those blocks under you, your legs, just like if it was a foam roller, and you can try it with them up higher or on the other first position. Just bring that tailbone up, lifting your hips up, and letting your legs sink into those blocks. You can kind of take your blocks, and if you put your heels on the ground, you can rock those blocks a little back and forth, and then you'll have the edge of it help to push into your hamstring muscle to help break some of that up. You can go both ways doing that. If the blocks fall, don't worry about it. If you have the blocks, you can move them or scoot your body around, so then you can work up a little bit more where your glute and your hamstring meet. If you have the foam roller, you can just keep rolling that area from your glute down towards your knee. I wouldn't suggest going behind your knee with any of them and putting weight there. You have a lot of tendons that run through there. Is it necessarily going to hurt you? No. Your body is made for different things like that. For some people, it may. It may not feel comfortable. You may have some injuries that could aggravate it. So keep in touch with your body. Know what works for you, what doesn't, what may be hurtful, what won't. And don't forget, if you have those blocks, to kind of move them around some. We're going to go down into our calves now, so I'll start with the foam roller so you can see it. Shit, that was not good. We're going to go down into our calves now, so I'll start with the foam roller. It would go underneath of your calves. Weights on your hands. You can use those blocks or something under you to push up and lift your bottom, and then roll back and forth, nice and slow, from your knee, again, not really behind your knee, down towards your ankle. If you find sticky spots, then hang out in there, because I know my calves get pretty tight right about mid-calf, that really meaty portion. Nice and slow, finding those areas. Again, if you don't have the foam roller, you can use your blocks. Same concept. Remember, you will have to move your block. So we're going to start more towards the top of it. You can rock those blocks back and forth just a tiny bit. Really getting into that muscle. If it's too much on your hands, you can always come down onto your elbows and then prop up your bottom with a pillow. If you have the blocks, go ahead and we'll move them down some on our calves. Keep breathing. Breathe through any tension you feel. One more breath. ditch our blocks, our foam roller, whatever you have. Swing your legs around into table. Tuck your toes. For your down dog, take your right leg, reach it high to the sky, and then on your exhale, pull it up towards your right elbow. Bring the outside of that right leg from your right knee down to your ankle and the outside of it towards your mat, sinking your hips down. Your left leg is going to be long behind you. Your right knee, it can be bent more, so then your toe is closer to your left hip, or you can straighten it out more into a parallel position at the top of your mat. Whatever feels most comfortable for your hips and your knees, because we're all different. You do want to be pretty much even here and not sunk to the side. So if you need to use a block or a pillow, something like that, to kind of prop up under your right booty cheek, feel free. Your abs are pulled in, and you can exhale and gently fold forward if you would like. Resting your forearms on your mat, your hands in front of you, whatever works for you. Breathe through any tension you feel. Now, if you're thinking, Jen, that's not going to happen, no way, no go, then let's do our pigeon a little bit different. So you have two other options. One would be to bend your left knee, left foot's on the floor, your right ankle is on your left knee, flexing that foot and really pushing your chest towards your leg. You can walk that left foot in closer to your bottom if you want. And then your other option would be to lay down flat on your back. That right ankle is still in your left knee. Feet are flexed, and you can pull that left leg towards your chest. If you want to wrap a strap behind it, that's fine. And then push that right knee out with your right elbow. Whichever pose you're doing, just breathe. Three more breaths. If you are in a regular pigeon on the floor, you can push yourself back up through to your down dog. If you are in one of the other positions, just release your legs out in front of you and give them a little shaky shake. If you're in down dog, bring that left foot up towards the sky, sweep it through so your left elbow or your left knee is going towards your left elbow. Your back is pretty much flat. Really pull that knee up, and then think about taking your left foot towards the right side of your mat, lowering your left leg down towards your mat. So the outside of your left leg is what's going onto the mat. Your right leg is straight behind you. You can take a peek back there and see if it is. Again, if you're sinking a lot, so your booty's really having to wait to get down there to the mat, prop it with a block, a pillow, a blanket, whatever you need. That left knee can be bent, so then your left heel is more towards your right hip, or you can flex that foot and bring it more towards parallel, the top of your mat. And whenever you're ready, you can begin to sink your chest towards the floor. Again, if this is a no-go for you, if this hurts your body, have compassion to your body. We're working to release the muscles and the tension. We don't want to add to it. You can take one of the other positions, again, where you're seated on your bottom, right knee is bent, foot on the floor, left ankle's on your right knee, and then push your chest towards that left leg And you can walk your right foot in towards your bottom some. Keep breathing into any of those areas you feel tension. Or the other option is whenever you were laying flat on your back, right knee is bent, your left ankle is on your right knee, and then you can reach behind your right thigh to your hamstring or use a strap and pull that in towards you, pushing your left inside of your left leg out towards, like you're pushing it towards the top of your mat. Keep breathing. If you're in the regular pigeon pose, push yourself up to your down dog. If you're in one of the other positions, the seated or the laying pigeon pose, you can just go ahead and release your legs. If you're in down dog, bring your knees to your mat, to your table position. If you're laying on your back, going to come up. Everybody's going to be seated. We're going to lengthen our legs out on our mat for a forward fold. If you would like a blanket underneath your bottom, this is a great time to put something there. So we're nice and long in our spine. For your legs, you have some different options. We're going to be loose in them today. We're not going to be engaging the muscles so much. So you can just kind of have them flopped open, a little bit wider than your hips or so. If you have a foam roller, you can put your foam roller underneath your knees. You can use a block under each knee. You can use a bolster or a cushion, pillow, something like that. Whichever way. If you have a prop, you can use prop. If you don't, no worries. You're still going to get the benefits. Big inhale, sitting up nice and tall. And then in your exhale, just kind of drape your body forwards. Your hands are going to go to the mat, palms up. We're just looking for a big rounding in our back. Your head's heavy. Arms are heavy, so then your shoulder blades are kind of falling apart from each other, releasing tension in your back. Your muscles aren't really engaged here. You just want to sink into this position. Really let your head be heavy, bringing that chin towards your chest. About 5 more breaths here. Keep those inhales and exhales long. Breathing into any tension. Feeling your back expand. Every exhale, feel heavier.
flip your hands so your palms are on the floor. Big inhale. And on your exhale, begin to walk your hands up towards your hips, straightening your spine one vertebrae at a time, rolling it up. Head is the last thing to lift. Nice tall spine. If you have some props underneath of your knees, go ahead and put those to the side. And gently begin to roll down onto your back. Legs are long, feet flopped open. If you would like a bolster underneath of your knees yet, you can use it here. Tuck your shoulder blades down your spine. Your hands can rest on your belly, your palms up, whatever feels good. The floor beside you. Gaze would be up towards the ceiling. If you feel safe and comfortable, you can close your eyes. Think about the tension releasing from your feet, one toe at a time, to the ball of your foot, the arch, the heel. Release the tension in your ankle, your calves, knees, quads, hamstrings, glutes. So right now your lower body should just feel like jello, just really heavy sinking into the floor. Continue up, releasing your low back, your lower abdomen, your mid-back, top of your abdominal cavity, your upper back, your chest and heart, your collarbones. Think about them just sliding down towards the mat, on into your arms, your upper arm, your lower arm, your fingers and palms. So your upper body should be really heavy right now, as well as your lower body. Release the tension in your neck, your jaw, your eyes, space between your brows, your forehead. Begin to feel like your face is just completely relaxed and melting towards the earth. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. A big good morning stretch. Feel that tension release in your body. Bend your knees. Roll over onto your right side. Prop your head on your right arm. Your left hand's in front of you. Take a big breath here. Thank yourself for showing up. Thank yourself for releasing the tension in your body. Throughout your day, think about the release that you just did and the way we relaxed our muscles and our fascia. And even if you're sitting at your desk and you can't do these different poses, consciously think about the tension falling out of your body and the knots unwinding. Your next exhale, push yourself up to easy seat, crisscross applesauce. Nice tall spine, hands on your knees. Roll your neck out a little. Release some more tension. Find stillness, chins parallel to the floor. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. And push into those hands, bringing your chest towards your hands. If your eyes are closed, you can slowly start to blink them open. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I have done some other MFR, myofascial release flows here on YouTube. I do have one as well, just a little bite showing you the different props and kind of how to use them. There is an MFR course available over my website, True to You Yoga, and I'm going to link that below for you. If you all have any questions, please let me know. I would love it if you would like or subscribe so you don't miss out on anything new we have coming up. May you always stay true in your intentions, true to your heart's desire, and speak loving truth to those around you. Love ya.